Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of English Ear Training. I'm Eva, your host, and I'm really happy to have you here today. As always, this podcast is a place where you can relax, listen, and improve your English skills naturally, just like you would in a real conversation. No pressure, no tests, just listening and learning at your own pace. This podcast is made for English learners who want to improve their listening skills in a real and natural way. If you're learning English right now and you can understand quite a bit, like you're following me as I speak now, but still struggle to understand native speakers when they talk fast, especially when they're speaking to each other in casual conversations, then this podcast is just for you. Because here on the English Ear Training Podcast, I speak naturally. I say all the usual words and phrases that Americans say in everyday life, but I speak just a little more slowly and a little more clearly so that you can follow along, train your ears, and feel more confident when listening to real English. Today's topics are something fun, something that might be new to some of you, or maybe totally familiar, depending on where you live. I'm going to talk about garage sales, and I'm also going to talk about American football. Two interesting topics, kind of random, of course, but definitely interesting. Okay. Let's talk about garage sales first. Those little weekend events where people sell their old stuff out on their lawn or in their garage. This is going to be an interesting topic for many of you who aren't from America, because garage sales aren't really popular in most other countries. In fact, in many places, they're almost non-existent. Garage sales are kind of a uniquely American thing. Here in the U.S., they're super common, but in other parts of the world, a lot of people have never even seen one in their life. So yeah, it's definitely an American phenomenon. Now, what exactly is a garage sale? Well, the name kind of explains it. A garage sale is when someone decides to sell things they no longer need, like clothes, books, toys, furniture, kitchen items, anything really. They usually do this from their own garage or their driveway. So the word driveway refers to the area of concrete or cement outside your garage where you can park your car, usually in front of your house. And the garage is the enclosed part. You know, the space with a door that you can close. At garage sales, people sell items either from their garage or out on their driveway. So other people come to the house, walk onto the driveway, or step into the garage, and they look through the items that are for sale, so they can buy those items for a really cheap price. It's casual, it's friendly, and, to be honest, sometimes it's a little weird, but in a good way. Let's say you're driving through a small neighborhood one Saturday morning. You turn a corner and you see a hand-painted sign that says, "Garage Sale, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You slow down, follow the arrow, and there it is, a house with tables covered in random stuff. A few people are browsing those items. The word browse just means to look through a collection. So if I'm in a store and the worker asks me if I'm looking for something in particular, I could say, "No, I'm just browsing," or "I'm just browsing around." It means that I'm simply looking through their collection of items. But why do people have garage sales in the first place? Well, most of the time it's because they want to clean out their home. Maybe they're moving to a new place. Or maybe they're just tired of all the junk sitting in the attic. Instead of throwing it all away, they try to sell it and hopefully make a little money in the process. But it's not just about the money. Garage sales are also about connection. You meet your neighbors, you talk to strangers, you share stories about that old toaster you're trying to sell or the dusty bookshelf from your college days. It's kind of personal in a way. And the buyers? Well, some people just love hunting for bargains. These people are called garage sale hunters. They wake up early on Saturday mornings, check local listings in the newspaper or on websites like Craigslist, and drive around looking for hidden treasures. It's like a game for them. Sometimes they're looking for specific things, like vinyl records, antique tools, or vintage clothes. Other times they're just curious. There's a sense of adventure in it. You never know what you'll find. I once went to a garage sale where someone was selling an old typewriter for $5. It still worked. I didn't buy it, but I still remember how cool it was to press the keys and hear that old-school click-clack sound. And that's the charm of garage sales. You find things with stories. Now, let's go over some of the phrases and words again that you might hear at a garage sale. There's the word bargain. This means a really good deal, something that's cheap but valuable. Someone might say, "This chair is a total bargain," or "I got this blender for just $3. What a bargain." Another common phrase is haggling. This means negotiating the price. At a garage sale, it's totally normal to ask, "Would you take $5 for this?" Even if the price tag says 10. Sometimes the seller says yes, sometimes they say no. It's all part of the fun. Then there's junk and treasure. You've probably heard the phrase, "One person's junk is another person's treasure." That perfectly describes garage sales. What looks useless to one person might be exactly what someone else has been searching for. There's a kind of recycling going on here, too. It's eco-friendly. Instead of buying something brand new, you're giving an old item a second life. That's pretty great, right? Now, not every garage sale is amazing. Sometimes you'll stop by a sale and find nothing but broken toys and worn-out shoes. Other times you might discover a beautiful lamp or a painting that's actually worth money. It's all about the experience. People also use different names for garage sales. You might hear yard sale, tag sale, especially in the northeastern U.S., moving sale, when someone is relocating, rummage sale, usually for charity or at churches. They all mean pretty much the same thing. Second-hand items being sold informally. And here's a fun fact. Some people actually make a living by reselling things they buy at garage sales. They go to garage sales, buy cheap items, clean them up, and then sell them online, on eBay, Etsy, or even Instagram, for a profit. It takes time and a good eye, but some people are really good at it. So, maybe next time you see a garage sale sign, you'll stop and take a look. Even if you don't buy anything, it can be a fun way to spend a morning. You might meet someone interesting. You might find a childhood toy you forgot about. You might leave with a $1 teacup that becomes your new favorite thing. That's the beauty of garage sales. It's not just about the stuff. It's about the stories. It's about community. It's about giving old things new meaning. All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is American football. Now, maybe you've seen it before. A bunch of huge athletes in helmets and shoulder pads running into each other, chasing a strange brown ball shaped kind of like an egg. And if it looked confusing to you, you're definitely not alone. For many people outside the U.S., American football seems strange, like a mix of chess and wrestling, but on a field, with fans screaming in the background. So today, I want to help you understand what this sport is all about. Not just the rules, but the culture, the feelings, and why it means so much to so many people. Let's start simple. In American football, there are two teams. Each team has 11 players on the field at a time, and the main goal is to move the ball down the field and score more points than the other team. Now, this ball isn't round like a soccer ball. It's oval-shaped with pointed ends. Some people say it looks like a watermelon. Others say it looks like a stretched-out egg. The most important score in football is called a touchdown. That's worth 6 points. After that, the team can try to earn an extra 1 or 2 points. There are also field goals. Those are worth 3 points. And even something called a safety, which is worth 2. I know, it can sound a little complicated at first. But here's something that makes football different from a lot of other sports. The players don't play offense and defense. They specialize. There are 3 separate groups on each team: offense, defense, and special teams. That's pretty unique. In most sports like basketball or soccer, players switch from offense to defense constantly. But in American football, if you're an offensive player, you usually stay on offense. So during the game, teams take turns playing offense and defense. When your team has the ball, you're trying to move it forward either by running with it or throwing it. And you get 4 chances, called downs, to move the ball at least 10 yards. If you do it successfully, you get 4 more chances. If not, the other team takes the ball, so it becomes a game of planning and strategy. When should you run? When should you throw? Should you play it safe? Or take a risk? It's like a giant chess match, but with big tackles and loud stadiums. And let's talk about the hits. Yes, American football is physical, very physical. Players wear helmets, pads, and mouth guards. They run into each other, push, pull, and tackle. When we say tackle, we mean bringing someone down to the ground fast, and that's part of the excitement. But the real heart of football, it's not just about the action, it's about emotion. In the U.S., football is about connection. On Friday nights, you'll see high school students, parents, teachers, and neighbors gather at their local field, cheering for their hometown team under the lights. On Saturdays, it's college football. University teams play, and the students wear their school colors, wave flags, and scream with every touchdown. And then comes Sunday. That's when the NFL, the National Football League, takes over. This is the professional league in the U.S., and it's been around for over 100 years. There are 32 teams, and each one has a huge group of fans. These fans don't just watch, they live it. They wear team jerseys, decorate their cars and homes with team colors, and plan their weekends around the games. And then there's tailgating. If you've never heard that word before, tailgating is a special tradition. Fans arrive at the stadium hours before the game. They park their cars, open the trunks, or tailgates, and start grilling food, playing music, and socializing. It's like a giant outdoor party before the big show. And the biggest show of all? That's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the final game of the NFL season. It's the championship. It's the most watched event in American sports. Over 100 million people tune in. Some don't even care about football. They just want to watch the commercials. Yes, you heard me right. The commercials during the Super Bowl are so famous and so expensive that many people watch the game just to see the ads. And then there's the halftime show. Big celebrities, huge performances. It's more than a game. It's a cultural moment. So Why do Americans love football this much? Some say it's the action, the fast pace, the big plays, the surprise endings. Others say it's about loyalty. People grow up supporting their local team, they remember watching games with their parents, and now they watch with their own kids. Some people say it feels like a battle, strategy, teamwork, strength. Others say it's just a reason to come together. But here's the truth. For many Americans, football means belonging. It's not just a game. It's tradition. It's memories. It's something they can share with others. Even people who don't love football often join in during big games because it's a way to connect with family and friends. Now, football isn't perfect. There are serious concerns about player safety, especially with brain injuries. There have been protests during games, debates about justice and freedom of speech. There are people who criticize the sport, who say it's too violent, too commercialized. And you know what? That's part of American culture, too. The ability to enjoy something and still question it at the same time. Let me tell you something personal. When I was younger, I didn't care much about football. It just looked like a bunch of people crashing into each other. The rules were confusing. The game kept stopping. I didn't get it. But then, one day, a friend invited me to watch a game. He explained the rules slowly, what a down was, why they kicked the ball, why the fans were cheering at random moments. And little by little, it started to make sense. I began to see the rhythm, the drama, the moments of joy and frustration. I watched the fans, their faces, their passion, their pride, and I realized football isn't just about the score. It's about feeling part of something bigger. So even if you've never watched a football game, even if you don't care who wins or loses, just know this. When someone in the U.S. says, "Are you ready for some football?" what they really mean is, are you ready to celebrate together? Are you ready to gather with friends? Are you ready to feel something real? It's more than just a sport. It's a window into American life. Thanks so much for listening today. I hope this helped you understand American football, not just the rules, but the heart behind the game. And of course, I hope it gave you some helpful, real-world English listening practice. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a chance to keep learning. And if you know someone who might enjoy this podcast, share it with them too. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll talk to you in episode 7 of the English Ear Training Podcast.